little bit of background, if you don't mind, just also you can understand context. I see there's a few of my fellow speakers that were with me in February last year in Namibia. So just raise your hand so everybody can see you, because otherwise I'm going to call you out by name. All right, there we go. So we were there in sunny Namibia and lovely weather on the coast, lovely time. And everybody knows the lead up to that was a little bit rocky. But so when we got there, it was just this huge community feel. Everybody pitched in, everybody helped out, everybody tried to do something to make sure that the event becomes a success. And what I found fascinating in that is I'd not been at a conference before where that sense of community was really so alive. Been to a few of the international conferences, but there it was just sort of, I don't know, maybe it's the first time I really noticed it, but it was really intense. And sort of at the last day, which we did as a conference, people were saying, well, we don't want to wait another 2 years to the GSF conference to get together and see each other again and have that same feeling of connectedness and community. And so a few of us started talking in the back rooms, going like, okay, so what should we do? People suggested Tunisia. And I said, well, this is club in Amsterdam that I can invite everybody to. I'm a member there, we can get us some discounts. Let's do it at the club in Amsterdam. But COVID hit, and then all of a sudden we had to start looking at what the other possibilities are. So we only actually canceled the club 2 weeks ago. We were always holding out hope that there would be a miracle and we might be able to get physically together, and that didn't pan out. So we thought about, but what is also different? What are the things that we tend to normally focus on at a speaker conference? And that means we tend to focus on the speakers, but not necessarily on what the speakers' needs are. I thought, well, what is last year's been the biggest need? And that is the transformation of innovation. So they say the mother of all invention is basically the need or the fear for it, you know, for what the future will hold. And so we saw a lot of changes and a lot of innovation in last year, not necessarily all of them easy for us to digest or to work with or work through or find our new feet in or our new opportunities in. So we thought, but could we come up with a program that could help speakers in that? So we thought, well, if you haven't been shook up enough, we're going to start day one by saying, well, here's a few wake-up calls. And one of those people that are going to help us with that is Christina Boudrup. Now, Christina Boudrup is a journalist, and she writes specifically on China and technology coming out of China. So her contention is that we're running 5 to 10 years behind what China is doing right now. So it gives us a glimpse into the future, also our own future as speakers. And so we thought, well, okay, if you have all the doom and gloom coming at you at day one, there has to be some respite somewhere. So day two starts with optimism. So Thomas Wedelsborg is a buddy of mine. I met him in at sort of a conclave of people that did some stuff with Harvard at one point, and where we all were attending a writing conference, actually a writing workshop. Thomas was then writing his second book and also been published through Harvard Business Press, which I think is quite impressive for somebody that young to already have 2 books out. And he specifically focuses on innovation and on solving problems. So his second book is also called What's Your Problem? And, which I like the punny wordplay on. And so I asked Thomas if he'd be willing to come and speak at our conference. I mean, Thomas is usually somebody that it doesn't really get out of bed for a lot of money. So he did. And I was just very glad that we could have Thomas. And that's where the ball started rolling. So eventually we started finding a lot of speakers. We eventually had almost 5 times as many applicants as we have space for. So we were a little bit in an unenviable position in the sense that we could pick. And that also allowed us to pick more women that you would normally see in a conference. So we're very happy to have basically almost 40% women on stage. And then we also have quite a large cultural diversity, people from South Africa, from the US, from India, from as far afield as New Zealand, and then obviously Germany and the UK, and obviously, of course, the Netherlands. So if you know of somebody that's a technology specialist and that comes from France, we still have 1 spot we've reserved for France, but we're not getting so many French people that speak English that are interested in attending. So if you find anybody or know anybody, please let me know. We're still looking for that one French person, you know. And so the whole program came about with that in mind. So day one is wake up. Day two is where's the optimism, where's the opportunity, and day three is let's all do that unconference together. Let all the attendees, all the speakers, anybody can come up and facilitate a session, and we'll have multiple breakout rooms where people can brainstorm together and work together on potential solutions based on what you've heard in the previous 2 days or something else you bring in. So the way the program has also been structured together, when I spoke to Katja the first time and I asked her, so what are we going to look, what is this like? And she says, it's like being a director and there's a symphony orchestra in front of you. And I go like, okay, so it's our symphony of speakers. And that's also what it's become. So we have a plenary session we open on, and then we all go to breakout rooms where we get our different streams. There's a technology stream, there's a markets and business stream, there's an event stream, because we also want to cater to the events bookers and event creators, corporates as well, so they can say, well, this is what we need. This is what speakers need to give us to be able to be more relevant in the future as well. And then we have something called voice. So it has to do with the auditive side of things, not just the visual elements. And so those are the 4 major streams. 3 of them run parallel to each other at any given time. So nobody's going to be able to attend everything. But that's why we record things. And for 3 months after the conference, you will still be able to listen to those things back. Our goal is to have that same day, everything that was done in the morning, ready by that evening, so the following day you can already listen to stuff. Because we want to create that sense of community and that everybody can participate on the Sunday, on the unconference day. So our speakers also not going to be introduced. So you're going to a breakout room, and the first person there is going to say hi and welcome everybody. And then the handover from one speaker to the next is literally going from one speaker to the next. So every speaker will have to engage with every speaker that they hand over to before the conference starts. Again, sort of slightly forcing the whole community thing again for people to connect and find out more about each other and how we can assist each other. So we're a small team, but I think we're doing some exciting and very interesting things. Slightly different approach, not just throwing technology at you when it comes to innovation, but also the whole market, the whole event circuit, and what does that mean for you? So that was my monologue. Now fire away with questions.